Episode 4 of Severance Season 2 explores Egan's history in greater detail by disclosing some personal information about his brother Dieter. One cannot help but wonder how much of the recent disclosures about the Eagan family's lore are accurate, even though many of them seem a bit too fantastical to be true. The mystery behind Eagan, the founder of Lumon Industries, the main firm, has been gradually revealed by the sci-fi series on Apple TV+. According to his biography, Eagan was born in 1841 and had severe illness as a child as a result of his parents' close biological relationship. The show also revealed how he founded Lumon Industries from the bottom up and met his wife. But there are still a lot of unknowns around his past. Episode 4 of Severance Season 2 sets the stage for further revelations concerning his family and late twin brother, Dieter. But it raises more questions than it does answers about Kier's beginning. The narrative in Kier's fourth appendix states that Dieter was his twin brother. The fourth appendix of Lumon's Compliance Handbook, which was written by Kier in his last hours, is referred to by Milchik as a text of such sanctity that it is forbidden upon the severed floor. The book claims that Dieter persuaded Kier to abandon their house and live as paupers in the forest. Kier consented to move in with his brother in Woe's Hollow because he loved him. Their trip was short-lived, though, as Kier became quite upset about something he saw in his brother. Kier had no choice but to listen as Dieter spilled his lineage upon the soil, according to the narrative in the fourth appendix, implying that his brother masturbated while they were in the wilderness. The book claims that he was promptly punished for this deed when his scalp fell out of his head like moss, and his left eye burst out. Terrified by his brother's screams, Kier approached the waterfall in the hollow to muffle them. At this point, Kier met Woe, who is described in the fourth appendix as a gaunt bride, half the height of a natural woman. Milchik asserts the events in the story in the first chapter of the fourth appendix actually occurred, despite the fact that it appears to be a religious parable. Given the story's specifics, it is difficult to deny that Kier killed his brother by drowning him in Woe's Hollow's waterfall after growing resentful of him. Kier apparently felt offended by his brother's contempt and disobedience to his family line and his refusal to work in their father's ether mill, which led him to murder his sibling. The Lumon creator learnt to control Woe, one of his four tempers, by killing his own brother. In characterizing his brother's activities as wantonness and referring to him as a chaos whore, Kier appears to be demonizing him. In addition to denouncing him for disobeying their family's tradition by revealing his ancestry on the ground, he also shows his hatred for him by refusing to go back to work at the mill with their father. According to the story, Kier always acted with the finest morals and ideals, but his brother sinned and wasted his talent. As a result, he was awarded with the capacity to control one of his tempers, while his sibling received cruel punishment. Chapter 1 of the fourth appendix appears to be an exaggerated allegory about the importance of honoring one's ancestry and working hard rather than pursuing freedom and autonomy, regardless of whether Kier killed his brother Dieter. Through the story, Kier intends to inculcate feelings of loyalty and devotion in Lumon, as seen by the fact that he even calls his employees his children in his remarks. Kier portrays himself and his business as the epitome of discipline, order, and tradition by upsetting someone like his brother, who made the immoral decision to rebel and indulge himself. Helena does not appear to take the Dieter story seriously, even though she is an Eagan herself. She chuckles at it and even mocks the part about Dieter's punishment for masturbating. Helena must have heard about Dieter and would not have chuckled at a story about his cruel demise if he had truly been a member of the Eagan family. This implies that Dieter might not even have existed, rendering the story entirely fictitious. But it's also possible that the Eagans don't talk about Dieter's story in public, since Kier sacrificed him in order to progressively establish his legacy. The incident in the fourth appendix may have some validity to it, but it is clearly only a parable designed to teach Eagan's ideals and beliefs in Severance, and to strengthen his message on controlling the Woe temper. Kier's path to the top may have involved numerous sacrifices, both real and symbolic, as Dieter's story in Severance implies.